representing each other together.
I want to join.
All right. We're back with another another episode of the Chatterbox King Jacob. I'm your host, King Jacob. And man, we're gonna get right into it, man. I have two amazing brothers, on this evening, man. We're gonna get in heavy into this entertainment business. So I have with me none other than Blaze Hunter and Mr. Cooper. What's up, FICE?
How are you? How are you?
How you doing?
Good, man. So before we, I like to give the audience a little synopsis of who you are. So I'm going to ask a question. I want both of you guys to answer. Who is Blaze Hunter and who is Mr. Cooper?
So Blaze Hunter is what I like to call the cerebral assassin to the entertainment industry, and not just in music, not just in acting, not just in drawing, dance, and all facets of entertainment. I've been doing this since 2003 professionally, but I've been involved in music my entire life. And once I got into the business, chewed up, spit out, knew all the do's and don'ts, got to an age to where I've been able to see all of the behind the curtain, the rose-colored glasses came off, and when I was able to see what it was and for what it was, it put me in prime position to know how I can be effective to our people. So Blaze Hunter, I'm that entity that lets the independent artist and content creator know that there is a way to do this without selling out.
Okay.
And Mr. Cooper, if he's the cerebral assassin in that end, I'm the tribal chief in the other end. You'll hear a lot of professional wrestling references when it comes to who we are. But Mr. Cooper, man, I'm a singer-songwriter. Also heavy in the entertainment business from a independent side. I've been preaching independent since just coming into the game. You know what I'm saying? Linking up with Blaze was just a cherry on top, if you will, during the pandemic. Us actually linking up after so many different years and different people that we've simultaneously worked with. It's just funny that it took all of those years to culminate into 2020, into us linking up and making the most prestigious network in the land, the Signature Series Network, first of its kind as far as an independent streaming service for all independent content.
Oh, that's interesting. So we're gonna get more into that. So Blaze, where did it start for you as far as you entering the entertainment business as a whole?
So what made me start it, like he said a little earlier about the professional wrestling, I've been crazy with professional wrestling, huge fan. So one day, me, my brothers, neighborhood friends, we out wrestling. This guy, sees us from down the street and was like, look, y'all kids can hurt yourselves. So, I got boxing gloves, I box. You guys can, use the gloves. It's better than you doing all these moves and break your neck. So we'll go over there every day and we'll box. One day after boxing, we were taking a break. He brought out a guitar and he was playing a song called Mrs. Hollywood. So I, for the fun of it, wrote a rap to it. Just no reason, wrote it. My mom heard it, thought it was crazy. I showed her at a park. I'm beating on the desk, showing her the song. She's like, that's freaking good. Everybody in the park surrounded us. So she was like, all right, I need to get you in the studio with somebody. So once I was in the studio, I was like, oh, I'm about to get rich off this. I'm feeling good. But still, that was my mindset. My mindset wasn't, when I heard KRS-One for the first time and the boom box, I didn't have that story. My story was, there's something, I don't got to work, I don't got to pay bills, I'm going to do this. It wasn't until my mom's friend, her sister went into a coma. So, and they asked, well, since your grandmother was in a coma and you have history of this, you think you can write a song for her? I'm like, yeah, just give me the information. I got it. So did the song. It's called Keep Your Head Up. And a week after I did the song and she received the song, she woke up and told me that she heard the song while under and came out. And then my mind was like, wow, this music can change lives. And from that point on, it became serious. Ball game changed. Now I was starting to level in, become a sponge, learn the production, learn the engineering, get my pen game right, and get my performance stage presence right. It all changed after that point.
Okay. So for you, Mr. Cooper, when did it start for you, and how young were you when it started?
For me, it all started with the love of music. I think it can go as far back as singing in church as a young man. Learning those first chords, learning what runs were, just learning how to be an all out singer and not really having any kind of training whatsoever. You know what I mean? Just the love of music, growing up in the house, sometimes listening to moms clean to some Freddie Jackson or Anita Baker or whatever else is on or during that time, you know what I mean? And then singing in the mirror, singing by yourself, learning that you could hold these same notes as anything that you hear, and to be able to really actually sing or rap or do any kind of music from ear, not really knowing. I think that's a special talent in itself. So it started out there and then singing in talent shows and things of that nature. And for me, it didn't really cultivate until really figuring out that I wasn't going to do this as a young man. Coming up and not having the resources that you think that you should have or might want to have getting into this business, slim to none, especially when you don't have the people that believe in you. You don't have the financial backing. You don't have different people to point you in the right direction, especially the small city where we're from, West Palm Beach, Florida, to be exact. You know what I'm saying? This is very few, far and in between. But it didn't really cultivate until I just started recording at home, having our own studio home setup, recording in the closet, really cultivating that kind of sound and getting into it and taking it extremely serious later on as a man into my furthering being a man, being a father, having a lot of things to be able to talk about and be able to say. So I mean, just the love of music in general, it cultivated, but it started that early as a kid.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So to hear you say a small city like West Palm Beach, Florida, is mad funny to me.
Why is
Because
it funny? So
I'm from South Carolina, bro. So when we talking about small towns and small cities,
Yeah.
and being that I used to live in Fort Lauderdale, I know
yeah,
all about West Palm Beach. That's too funny.
yeah.
But I can understand why you say that. But small
I
towns, bro.
mean, I mean,
I'm very
listen,
familiar.
listen. Palm Beach, it might seem that way from people that's not from here. If you born and raised here, then you know just how small it is here, especially when it comes to resources. Just like you would know being in Carolina, you know what I'm saying? You would know how small it is in your area and the limited resources you would have. It take
Right.
the outsiders to come from anywhere and see what it looked like to them. And they could be like, oh man, it's a big city. But when you from this shit, nah, it don't
Yeah.
even move.
Yeah. You right. You right.
Exactly.
You right. Cause being that my mentor Charles King is from Jersey, he say the same thing you say. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So me and Charles go way back, man, way back. I think, man, I've been rocking with Charles since about 2005.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
2004, 2005. Yeah, so he's really shaped me when it comes to this music business. So as far as now, Blaze, as I'm reading your press, your bio, man. You've worked with a lot of different people, opened up for a lot of different people, touched a lot of stages and things of that nature, man. And so once you got started and once you had in your mind that you really could do this, man, cause you're an artist, you're a producer, you're an engineer,
Yeah.
you're a vocal arranger, you're a performer, you're a people person, you're a businessman, and so how long did it take you to learn everything that you needed to really fully captivate your craft so others will be inspired?
Yeah, in all honesty, it was like I had the skill set way before I realized I had it. Because starting very young, I also sung in church. In school, I used to get awards for like my paintings and drawings. They put them up in the city hall. I get like writing stories, drawing comic books, doing all of these things. But to me, they were all just fun. But I was learning how to be a creative at that time. Performing at church, they used to always have me. I didn't have what Cooper had, where I was able to hit the run. So they was making me be Kurt Franklin. So I was doing all the yelling and talking, while everybody was doing all the singing. But that taught me how to be a showman. So I'm comfortable in front of a crowd. In school, volunteered just because I knew that I was uncomfortable in the crowd. Did like some of the school plays, did the Nightmare Before Christmas, and did a few of those different type of things. So I was already learning, these things. And then once I got into the business, like I learned the bare bones minimum, but I didn't have the education that I have now. So I went in. I would be, because of my skill set was so good as a music engineer and producer, some of these big labels and big studios would bring me on. Now, because I never graduated from a school to get the certificate legally, I wouldn't be able to do business with them. So what they were doing was NDA contracts and a work for hire type thing. Look, yo kid, we'll give you $1,000. You run the studio session. I'm like, $1,000. So I'm not worried about contract signing, none of that. I'm there. I put in hours of work. Like they had, when P Diddy had his first Making the Band with that first band with them kids. In studio session with them, yeah, studio sessions with Flo Rida, studio sessions with some of the Brother Marquise from the 2 Live crew. So I was doing a lot of stuff for them and not really getting the actual money that I know now that I have a business mind. I know what I should be paid. I didn't know at the time. They'd throw me a little $1,000 here. I work with the Corner Boys. Oh yeah, we got $500 for you, bro. I'm balling. But that wasn't the case. But going through those things and then seeing some of my songs, some of the songs I've written, given to other artists and used, and I get no credit for them, not knowing about copyright. And so it was really a bunch of me getting beat down and abused in this business. But I loved it so much to where I didn't quit. I was just like, I love it so much. I'm going to continue to try to be, innovative and try to make it happen. So, when I got to a place to where I knew everything, I wasn't in a place to where I'm getting fooled anymore. I would honestly say it was 2019. I would say I became the director of music for Universal Music, and being there, I was able to I was in a label, so I was able to see a lot of the things that happened on that end. And once I learned that, it was like, wow, they really purposely put the glass ceiling up for certain people not to succeed. They really. So when I saw all of these things, it opened my mind. I know I couldn't do it alone. I had to team up with someone that I knew that was like-minded and had vision, which hence Mr. Cooper. And I would say 2019, 2020, I finally had the full picture. Everything is together. The business acumen, the way to be creative, I do so much, but when you do so much, it's easy to get overwhelmed. I had to learn how to compartmentalize, how to make it all help each other. Instead of making it a whole bunch of different things, it turned into a good gumbo. You know what I'm saying? It turned into a good gumbo to where they all complement each other. So, man, it took me almost two decades. I started in 2003, and like we're in 2024 now. So I would say like the 18-year mark, I finally got it together. It's a long journey of lessons.
It is, man. And I've been through the cuts and the scrapes in this business, man. But I tell people there's so many different positions in the entertainment business. So if you're not good at one thing, you definitely can find something that you're good at. So I tell people to keep going, man. Keep going. So, Mr. Cooper, you're a singer, you're a songwriter, vocal arranger. You hit the riffs, the runs, the high notes, the low notes. And so, when did you find out that you really had that gift, or when did, as we say, the parents and the grandparents found out, oh, that boy special?
Shoot, my grandmother, God bless her soul, she'll still tell you today. She'll still make me try to make me sing any get together or any anything like that. So I say Granny knew off rip. Granny knew off rip. Brother, I'm gonna be honest with you. When it didn't really hit me, like I said, until I became a grown man. You know, singing at a young age, or thinking that you want to be a part of this industry at a young age, if you really think about it, it starts out as a dream. But if you don't have anybody to help you cultivate that dream, it's not good. You're not gonna get there. It's just a hobby. You get what I'm saying? So when you really get to a certain age in your life, when you are secure in who you are, secure in what you do, secure in your talents and your gifts, then I believe there comes a time to where there's no fear, especially when you're a grown man. You know what I'm saying? There's no fear. So I would really say things didn't really click for me fully until 2018. 2018, I was able to put together my first EP, put out my first EP, you know what I mean? All independent. And the way I put it out, it was received very well. And then culminating into meeting and linking up with Blaze, it all kind of worked out in a way to where I can be released as my moniker, which was the modern day crooner. You know, coming from a background, and my mindset with the songs that I was making was geared towards me being a married man, a husband, a father, and really coming down to the point of you could be all of these things in the music industry and still reverence your wife. You can be all these things in the music industry and still, you know, reverence your family and still keep your family and your wife, your significant other in high regard as a man, and come out here. You don't have to be a whoremonger. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying, be around claiming to be this, claiming to be this, claiming to be that. And I think I thought that would reflect very well in my music, and it did. So in 2018, I dropped my first EP. 2019, the EP was skyrocketing, linked up with Blaze. At this point he had already launched Blaze It Up Radio, which was an extremely great time to do that, especially for independent artists. You know what I mean? Having this entity to be able to get your music out there as an independent entity was very crucial. And a lot of people didn't see that in the beginning, but it really works out, especially when you're a royalty paid radio station. Radio is in. People were so focused on looking at streams and looking for streams that they missed the fact that radio is where you're getting your money. Streams, you're not making no money. And I knew that at a early age with this EP. I knew right off the bat that streaming wasn't where it was. So if we were going to remain independent and move in that light, we had to cultivate everything. And I say 2018, 2019, and right before we heading into 2020, that's when everything really clicked from an entire independent conglomerate. Being able to really honestly truly say I'm independent, I can't sign with you, and we don't really need the industry to make anything move. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro.
Okay. So you know, that's dope though, man. That's dope. So for you, Blaze, once you start getting to the business and understanding the business, man, it took your mind to a really new height, and also, man, it kind of captivated you as um this businessman. So you can keep that inspiration going, not only for yourself but for other people. Cause a lot of people have information and don't want to share it. So those are the gatekeepers. But I tell people all the time, man, if you want to know some acts, I share it because somebody shared it with me. And if it wasn't for the OGs, that's the promoters, that's the managers, the DJs that wouldn't share stuff with me, I wouldn't know a lot of stuff now because I never went to school for it. You know what I mean? But what they did tell me, if I give you a small piece, just study that through and through. Just research that through and through. and everything's gonna pop up for you, and you can study, you can take notes. They like you can even put your own curriculum together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can appreciate the OGs that do that now. As far as you, man, once you start understanding the business of it, man, as far as the LLCs and the corporations and things of that nature, man,
Yeah.
how did that advance you? You know, not just as a music entity, but just as a businessman, period.
Man, it changed the entire game. Once I learned all of the actual business, I stopped leaving the proverbial bag of money on the table. Before knowing the business, there's so much money that I was missing out on and I didn't realize. Like there were so many people. I make beats. I'm a producer. I had so many artists out there performing songs to the beats that I made, and I didn't know. I wasn't educated enough to know. Since I made those beats, I need to register them with ASCAP as well. I'm with ASCAP. I need to, so-and-so is getting ready to perform at the amphitheater. I need to log that down because I get a royalty check for it. You know, this professional wrestler is coming out to my song. I need to have those every event. They post flyers of every one of their events. I need to put them events down.
Blaze, back up, man. This is interesting to me. You just said when a professional wrestler is coming out to your song. So
Yes.
how many wrestlers have came out to music that you produced?
So I've had 4 different wrestlers come out to my songs, all on the independent scene. So starting off with the very first wrestler I produced for, his name was Ace Slater, and he came out with a song that I did all the way in 2010 called "Make Some Noise." He came out with it, and still to this day, when he comes out and performs, he uses that song. There was another wrestler that I did music for. His name was Sling Blade, and it had more of a rock and roll annotation, and he have kids. He stopped wrestling, so him not so much. And then, you know, there's a few others, but yeah, like I got to a place once I knew the business. There's so many, you know how they say that thing is so many ways to skin a cat. Same thing. There's so many ways to make money and make a living in this business, to the point where I haven't worked a 9-to-5 job or worked for anybody in over a decade. My medical bills, because I have lupus and myositis, so my medical bills, my kid, my own bills, you know, for food, gas, investing in the business, everything that we're doing, I'm able to pay for it off the strength of the business. You know, and because I know all the different things and ways that you can make money. Social media, changed the entire game after the pandemic, and when social media took form, you have to know how to work algorithms. You have to know when to post, when not to post. You know, these are all different type of things that a lot of people don't know, so they miss out on a lot of money. I was blessed and fortunate, but just Instagram alone, just the money off of making my Instagram reel bonuses, I paid rent with Instagram. You know what I'm saying? And that's not including the money that's coming from Snapchat or YouTube or any other platform that I'm using. You find the different things that you can do. There's, you know, TV shows. I got one of my songs, All In, featuring his son, was on NBA TV. They used it to promote the playoffs. Steve, they used that song to promote the NBA playoffs when it was on NBA TV. Then they used the same song during the Paris Olympics on that channel BBC. So then there are those things. That's money. That's royalties from that. A friend of mine was on American Idol. He was on just those first things for the audition. He decided to do his original song. I wrote the original song. Therefore, I was able to get, royalties off of it. Every time it was played on YouTube, it was aired on Fox, wherever. So, once I learned the business, it changed everything, because now I'm in a place to where nobody getting over on me no more. They can try to come, these labels can try to come at me with some crazy contract, like, oh, we're going to give you a 2-album deal. I'm like, all right, that's good. What's the release date? Well, we can talk. All right, I'll holler at you, click. because if they don't give you a release date, they can tell you all the stuff they want. We'll give you a $700,000 signing bonus, and you're gonna be maybe we might even give you a car. Oh, that's amazing. So if you sign that contract without the release date, they'll give you the money. You'll be in the studio. You'll do all that stuff, but you will never be able to recuperate that money because if they don't give you a release date, you can't release your album. If you can't release your album, how are you going to make the money to pay them back? Now you're stuck in a contract until the contract lasts for 2 albums. If they don't give you a release date, they can keep you on the shelf forever. And what that makes you is a tax write-off for them. There's a lot of people don't understand this. A lot of people get stuck with not knowing their business. When people talk about, I'll end after this, but when people are talking about the 360 deals, they're like, oh, I can't stand a record label. I don't need them because they're just going to take all the money. I don't throw shade at the record labels for 360 deals anymore because it's the artist's responsibility to know their business. Because with a 360 deal, the artist chooses to only focus on art. The record label books the studio time. The record labels pay for your producers. The record labels pay the bill in the studio. The record labels pay your manager. The record labels pay the magazines. The record labels pay for your contracts. The record labels pay for your, and I can go on and on and on and on. So by the time you selling all these records and thinking, oh man, I done sold this much, so I should have 100 million, but everything you spent that the record label spent was like 99 million. So damn, now I only got $1 million left because you had to pay all that back, but then taxes. So you're left with maybe $400,000. I'm a platinum selling artist and all like how this $300. Oh, the record labels are evil. No, you ain't know your business. That's why. So after I learned the business, oh man, it's a life changer.
Right. So we got DJ Wiz tapping in with us out of Maryland.
Yes, sir.
My man Steve, man, what's up, man? What's up, brother, man? I appreciate your support. I appreciate you tapping in with us. And
look,
and
I want to tell
brother.
Steve. I want to tell DJ Wiz, bro, you changed the game for me, bro. I don't know if you noticed. So back when I first started the station, when Blaze It Up Radio was starting to kick in, I've been trying to collab with a lot of people. DJ Wiz blessed me with he used to bless me with the old school R&B mixes for the station. So he would do his spin mix. It'd be like an hour long. I throw them things on the station, and that brought a whole nother dynamic to the listenership. We get 54,000 listeners a day on the radio station now, and that's a huge number. And he was a part of that foundation of growing it because I had variety. People wanted to come in for the young kids for the hip hop. They got that. Then I had the people that wanted to hear those old school jams. He helped me provide that. So I appreciate you, bro. It's one of the people like to give flowers. I like to say adjust your crown. I appreciate you, bro.
No doubt. Now, shout out to DJ Wiz and Edmonds Music, and shout out to my man Michael J. Terry tapping in from Indie Crib.
Yes,
He's definitely a dope person, man. He got a talk show. He's an artist. He has a nonprofit, and where he's definitely trying to change the narrative on how we see the youth and what is being done for the youth community. So I always give him a shout out and support him, man. So
nice.
Thank y'all for tapping in. Now, Mr. Cooper, now your first EP went through the roof. Now, as far as R&B, man, who are you as an R&B artist? Who would you kind of say you're similar to, and what is your style of writing as far as R&B?
Oh man, well, allow me to retort. My style is just that, brother. My style. I don't believe that I sound like anybody, and I think that was made perfectly clear during 2021. I'll go a little deeper.
Okay.
But no, my style of music is trap and B though. Trap and B, trap music, that heavy trap element of that bass, that 808, that nice knock, that good kick when you vibing And then of course the B is the R&B part of it, perfectly meshed together.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you a good rhythm and blues trap element to it. So that's my vibe. That's how I get down. One of the songs that really brings that out is No Mercy. So like I said on the EP, it was only it was only 3 songs that I put out on that EP, and I did that for a reason. One,
Mm-hmm.
people's attention span is extremely short. You know what I mean? So getting to the point with some good songs is the goal. I made sure I was able to give people a ballad, a mid tempo, and a nice club banger, just so they can get the variety of what the trap and B sound was. And fortunately, through that, I was able to cultivate uh, the most the most prestigious remix in the land, featuring yours truly and Blaze Hunter on that remix, which is the No Mercy remix, and that gives a even better, a more graduated sound to what that elevated sound was of Trap and B. R&B music to me, especially these days, has gotten such a bad rap. I do believe I heard some prominent R&B artists say that once the industry started to figure out how to make money off of the art of other music, mainly rap and hip hop and things of that nature, I believe they discarded what R&B was. They
Yeah.
discarded the actual artists and the artistry that came behind, R&B. Whereas these days you can make music in your closet, you can make music on your laptop. It was so accessible. Whereas with your average R&B song or R&B artist, the producer costs thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
The studio session costs thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? The ambiance costs thousands of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
The whole vibe of setting up an R&B and an R&B record cost you so much, and it cost the label so much that they were looking at it as a whole as like, you know what, we gonna fizzle this out with some of the mumble rap slash R&B, and we gonna throw it into the rap pool. And so all of that got diluted. The R&B sound, the rap sound, the hip hop sound. So that's where I say Trap and B stands alone. I don't sound like anybody. And to just kind of elaborate a little bit without going into NDA purposes, I was one of the only artists ever to go up against two of the top artists in the last decade, which is Chris Brown and Drake. If people do their research, you know what I mean? Outside of that. So I know exactly what I'm talking about when it gets to the highest of the heights and being there and seeing how the industry will take and try to shape something and shape their own narrative, and then you standing 10 toes on your craft and your artistry and being able to still come out on top. You know what I'm saying? And we still pushing today. As everybody can see, we just fine.
Just fine. That's such an amazing segue too.
Yes.
Had this been my show, the song be playing right now.
Right now.
Shout out to Pino. We see you, bro.
Yeah,
I can dig it, man. I can dig it.
That Weefy can dig it too.
Yeah, man. If y'all can hear us, man, like you said, just fine. Is out right now. You know what I mean? The single, Blaze Hunter featuring myself, Mr. Cooper, just fine, out right now. Y'all make sure y'all go and cop that.
Yeah, man. Definitely make sure the song is obviously amazing because we did it, but on a not so confident tip. It's a life anthem type of song, and everyone has the story. Everyone can relate to the story where there's something that is holding you down, letting you know that you ain't good enough to do it, but you went and you did it anyways, and you were able to show them that, you know what, regardless, despite of everything that you said, I'm doing just fine. Yeah, man. And
it's the perfect anthem for anybody. You know what I mean? You can take this song, you could be in the gym, you can take this song, you could be cleaning your house, you could take this song, you could be bumping it in the car, and it'll give the same message to anybody that's hearing it, anybody that's done you wrong, anybody that's doubted you, anybody that turned their back on you, anybody that really left you out there to die.
Exactly.
Told you weren't gonna be nothing, kept you just beat you down. You put this song on and it'll convey it. You know what I'm saying? It's just letting the whole world know that you're gonna be just fine. Especially this election season. Everybody was so hurt. Everybody was so beat down and hurt. But we gonna be just fine, man.
Exactly. It's the perfect. The last thing I say right before you go is the perfect blend as well. We're in that perfect pocket with this song because you can get the young kids because of the bop that it has. They'll vibe to it, but it has those live instruments as far as the drum pattern. So the jazzy folks can kind of vibe with it, and then Cooper's vocals on the chorus. Everybody can vibe with it. And then the way that I rap with the words that I'm saying, everything that that I'm saying has meaning and has purpose. It's the whole song is amazing. Y'all make sure y'all check it out. Blaze Hunter, Mr. Cooper, just fine.
That's dope. That's dope. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back shortly with Blaze Hunter and the one and only Mr. Cooper.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to the men that just came home from jail and said no matter what the circumstances is, I'm never going back. Shout out to the men that said I'm tired of neglecting my children. I'm stepping up and being a man for my children, teaching them morals, honor, responsibility. Shout out to the men that say, you know what, I'm tired of sleeping on that couch. I'm tired of using my mother. I'm tired of using that girl. I'm going to step up and be a man for me. Shout out to the men that just graduated from college or going to college. Shout out to the men that graduated from trade school. Shout out to the men that say, yo, I'm just tired of being tired and I need to make a change. Shout out to the men that stayed there, that's raising their children. Shout out to the men that's getting married or want to stay married. Shout out to the men that's taking care of children that's not biologically theirs. Shout out to the men that's trying to figure it out. Shout out to the men because you are a beautiful soul. Shout out to the men that's just being a part of everybody's life to make a change, man. Stop the violence.
Yo, that thing hit my soul, boy.
Power.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the men. And the reason I play this clip all the time, fellas, is walking on American soil for a male, especially a black male, ain't easy, man. And so a lot of times we don't show each other enough love. Or sometimes, when we're down in the trenches going through the mud, mentally and emotionally, even our own women, whether it's our mother, whether it's our spouse, they don't fully understand us because they haven't walked on those lines, that a male has walked on. So I just say shout out to the brothers, and I'm going to keep uplifting the brothers no matter what, you know what I mean? Because we definitely need each other. So shout out to the men.
Yeah, definitely shout out to the men. When he said, even if you got a kid that's not biologically yours, I'm living that right now. Mine is not biologically mine, but I cut the cord. You know what I'm saying? And once I found out that he wasn't mine, of course I stayed in his life, and this is the best thing that that's ever happened in my life. It's one of my top priorities to make sure that he is good, that he learns the lessons he needs in his life, and that with the way that he presents himself and the friends that he around, that light that I got that's in me go through him, he can spread it. So yeah, man, that thing was powerful. That was real powerful.
No doubt. So we have Deanna Freeman, word on the streets, Fleet DJs Georgia tapping in with us.
Okay.
And I'll definitely get her contact information over to both of you guys because she's a big part of that Fleet DJs Georgia, excuse me. And we also have Patricia Miles tapping in, dope Southern soul artist, from the Alabama, Mississippi area, real type Betty Wright, real type Minnie Riperton type. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I definitely plug you guys with a few people, man, with a few people. So as far as you guys, TV, film, movie scores, can you elaborate?
Man, allow me to retort.
Right.
So again, earlier when I was like, there's so many different ways to skin a cat, you learn, and like you said, when you learn something, you definitely make sure that you do your studying. And music theory was a big part of that for me. Learning music theory, not only because I was a rapper and wanted to produce music and I'm singers on my songs, but I was also an engineer, so I'm recording and I'm vocal training and I'm vocal arranging, so I need to know music theory. And then of course that translated over into movie scores, into TV commercials, into jingles. And right now, currently, we're in the middle of filming a TV series that's coming out in 2005 called Renegades. I'm one of the main characters. My name is Rogue. He plays my number two. His name is X. And yeah, man, and that's been, and this is our very first feature, star feature on a show where you got full long dialogue, speaking lines, and everything. And I'm blessed of how natural it's coming. It's definitely a learning curve, but even with that, took that same approach, doing acting classes on just facial expressions, on just to make sure that the best ways to study, I'll record myself and record the other person's vocals, so I can, while I'm in the car, I'm listening to it, while I'm in my headphones working out, listening to it. So it's, once you do these things, it becomes a way of your life. All of it, they all fit in with each other.
I love it, man. I love it. So is the casting call, have you had it already, or is it coming up?
Oh, we've already been filming. It's already started. We're in the middle of filming. I believe the last couple of episodes for the first season.
Yep.
Shouts out to Caesar Cypher, the creator and director. Shouts out to Mike Gambo, the director. Also, he's behind the camera. The entire cast and crew on Renegades is coming out top of 2025, and
Okay.
There'll be I believe there'll be a casting call once everything is out there. Once it's premiered on the proper station. I do believe a season 2 is going to be well in the works, just based off of how everything is going with the show, and just the entire process from transitioning over to just being known for music, as we are rolling over into the acting and movie scores and things of that nature. Everything is just moving very well, and this will be the first feature television production that will be featured on our network, the Signature Series Network, the most prestigious network in the land.
And you got to make sure that it's that high when you say prestigious. You can't say it's the most prestigious.
You just can't say prestigious. Don't work.
Yeah,
don't have the same kind.
That ain't us.
Yeah.
I got you. Don't worry, man. I've heard a lot about you guys, man. Charles and Took gave me the rundown and stuff like that, man. That's my mentor. So I'm very familiar, man. And I just want to say, keep going. Now, the final thought that I have for you guys, and this is important to me, so this is why I'm gonna ask it.
Yeah,
I'm a big advocate for the youth. I love the youth. I'm a JUCO collegiate recruiter, and so how I get through to the youth when they want to shut down on me, I use music as a mental health therapeutic session, right? And so I might say, you don't feel like talking, what song best describes what you're going through right now? And they might, like one guy said, the way the world is, let me listen to Jadakiss Why. You know what I mean? A young lady may say, let me listen to Jill Scott, a long walk through the park. I just need to clear my mind. So for you, man, how do you guys want to inspire kids, whether it's from elementary school to middle school to high school to collegiate, or just kids that you might meet in a social session? Because the best way that I have judged music when I was managing artists was a social session with kids, from ages 10 through 17. They gave me the most rawest criticism, the most concrete answer, and it was very blunt, because kids ain't gonna really They gonna tell you what it really is. So how do you guys wish to inspire the children?
Oh man, this is something that's been going on and currently going on, and there's so many ways I won't even be able to fully touch on it without taking another 15-20 minutes to answer. So I'll go through a few different things. The person that just commented just now is my mother. Her and we have a company called Book Jams. It's a children's ebook company where we take stories from kids, and we're not just going with just basic your plain cliche stories. Like, we'll take things that children actually deal with, and we go from their point of view. Like our first book, Katie Eats a Lot, it's about an obese child who is dealing with being obese and having to work that out. So we're going from what she experiences, the people calling names, to have to not be able to get the snacks when she wants to, and then it goes through the journey of how she exercises and and she gets right. And then at the end of each story, it's called Book Jams because I'll write and produce a song for it. So each story has the book, the story and the song. So we have over 20 books. We just released a new one just not too long ago. So that's one area of how impacting the kids and affecting them. Another thing that I'm involved in is I do a lot of things for the youth. Like, me and Cooper both are members of the NPPA, the National Press Photographers Association. So we get to attend a lot of different events, and there's a link of Book Jams right there, mybookjams.com, for anybody, kids, and you want to, check out the stories. We got free YouTube videos, everything. So Cooper and I are on, and no, before I even do that, also, Black Friday coming up from now until December 1st, you can get every book for only $1. All you have to do is make sure when you go to the checkout, you'll see the coupon. You click it, and then you just type in Black Friday in all caps. You'll get any story for only $1. So we appreciate you. Thank you. So, like I said, Cooper and I are in the NPPA. So, that puts us in position, like we did back to school sale. We did like a youth food drive. Did a thing where one of the football players, Marquise Brown, came down and had his football camp with the kids. So I was able to be able to go and, do media, teamed up with one of my sponsors, the Game Gods. And he brought all his games and his, he has like the big, like the football things, the big Tetris, the Connect Four, all of that stuff. So the kids were able to have, a good time. I do a lot of, for certain schools, I'll do where they'll have me on the projector, and I get to do, an hour session with the kids where I'll go giving them some knowledge. They'll, hit me back, and a lot of them are always expecting the glitz and glam, and I'm able to, instead of I can give them the truth and do it without crushing their dreams. As like I tell them, like, one thing that a lot of them need to understand, that, like you said, your mental health is the biggest part of this, because especially now that we're in the social media era, you can be riding that high because your song is so good, and there's 10 people in the comments make some kind of stupid joke. Or another thing, they have these music review shows. Some of these music review hosts are douchebags on purpose. So the song can just start, and you can be like, yep. And just that, yep. Oh, what the heck is yep. That's so lame. They throw the trash can sound. So now everybody in the comments are feeding off his energy. So now when your song is playing and this dude is completely dogging your stuff, everybody in the comments now, oh, this guy sucks. And that can mess with the mental if you're not mentally right. It can really mess with your self-esteem, and make you, I've dealt with so many artists. Oh, I'm not doing music. No one cares. And so I'm like, your mental health is the biggest thing in this industry. If you want to be famous, you want life, understand that the easy part is the music. The rest of that stuff is difficult, because you're going to have to worry about you saying the wrong thing. You could be joking and someone takes it wrong, and then the news and the media spins it into a way to make you think you don't like a certain type of person, or you're racist, or you're this. You could be quoting a movie for fun, not realizing the cameras are on, and they could ruin you. They'll dig you down and they'll tear you down. And you have to have that mental ability to be able to understand that they're doing their job. That's what they do. I know who I am. Let me do all I need to do to make sure that I avoid those things and I keep true to myself. So I just plan on continuing to build the brand. Cooper and I, we're continuing to build our brand, our individual brands, our brand together, into to put ourselves in positions to be able to speak to even more kids, to branch out to do even more things. Starting a sports company to do things with kids in the community, like we're starting our own football team, and then that's going to move on to a basketball team, and a lot of just different things. So the more we build, the more we can branch out and do more, and that's I feel the way that we want to do that.
Okay.
So, and just to kind of piggyback off of what he said too, and also to touch on a realistic topic, that's more so my end. Being a father of altogether 7, you know what I mean? And so ranging from 7-year-old to a 28-year-old, I'm gonna talk directly to the audience that's watching, that's parents, that's on your platform. And here's the kicker. Parents, it's on us. This man here is doing what he can in his spare time, in his time, even through his show and his platform, to advocate for children all over the world. So is Blaze. Blaze just said that. So am I. But it starts in our homes. It starts with us. It starts with us being able to raise our children, being able to step outside of what the world is saying, being able to step outside of how the world sees your children and how the world sees you and us as parents, and being able to take full control over what goes on in and outside of our homes. It starts with how we are raising our children, our young girls to be young girls, our young boys to be young men. And I believe if we start there and go there, we can't place the blame on anybody else outside of our homes, outside of your teachings. The teachers don't run your house. The teachers don't run your children. The helpers don't run your children. You run your children. And us as parents have to step up and set that example in order for our children to have the best life and a better life than we had. And they see it from us. So for me personally, the way I'm going to do it is continuing to make sure that our business is in order, continuing to make sure that we have a platform. Everything that we've set forth, sir, has been for generational wealth. We've already set ourselves up, and we've already set our children up and our families up for generational wealth. Now it's time to be that example and get out there so other people can see that it can be done for them, and we can all live the life that we're supposed to live and do the things that we're supposed to do.
All right, man. That's phenomenal. I love the fact that both Blaze Hunter and Mr. Cooper are advocating for the children, are advocating for the children not only for their mental health and protecting their peace, but also advocating for them on financial literacy and willing to show them how to, be financially great, for years to come. So I love that. So we'll take a quick commercial break, and after the break, we'll be closing out with Blaze Hunter and Mr. Cooper. Stay tuned for more important messages.
I'm tired of lying, and it's getting plain to see. I done tried hard to deny, but this woman changing me. Might go to the clubs, but I leave kinda early, and I don't drink and drive, but chug and jive, so my woman ain't gotta worry. No. See, I can't be playing with her heart or playing with her mind. We ain't getting no younger, can't play with my time. And I know she miss me and can't wait to kiss me. So I might be in by
right.
You better sing that thing, boy.
Man, my man
boy
too
was eating,
smooth
that
out
boy was
Mississippi,
eating.
man.
He is lying. I just want to let you know. I don't trust him. You know what I'm saying? Want to let you know I don't trust him. You know what I'm saying? You know, he doing all that, saying all the right things because he want to get invited tonight. Ladies, keep yowling. You know what I'm saying? Keep yowling.
I seen this young man used to be a rapper. You know, he
That boy
started
got a
off
voice
as
on
a
him, boy.
singer, and man, somebody said, man, I'm gonna put you in the studio with me, man, and I want you to sing the hook. Ever since he sung that hook, man, he took off.
Yeah, he got a voice. He got a
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah, he entered that Southern Soul market, man, with like a blazing fire, man, and
Come
he
on.
been doing good. So shout out to him, man. But y'all, we have had a phenomenal show, man, and I'm so grateful to you, brothers, man. And shout out to Charles King for plugging me with you, Blaze, and shout out you for bringing your partner on as well, man.
Definitely. Yes.
So phenomenal, man. We talked about, you know, the music craft, the music business. We talked about how you elevate your mind once you get to the business part, and we talked about the mental health and the therapeutic sessions of the children, and how you guys are gonna keep on inspiring the children, and man, just for you guys to be so business minded and so heavy into your crafts, but still take time for these children, man. I say, man, I that's love, that's respect, that's peace of mind, and boy, that's God's vision for sure, for sure. So man, both of y'all give y'all shouts out and tell people where they can find y'all at, man. Then we'll close out.
Definitely shout out. I want to shout out to Charles as well. Charles has been in my life in this industry since I was 18, 19. I think I met him. I was 18 or 19 years old. You know, me and his younger sister, shout out to Shani the GOAT. You know, we've wrote so many songs. We work together currently. You know, my song Lupus Warrior, for one of our Book Jam books, you know, she sings on it. She sings a couple of the songs. Her daughter is singing on the Mother's Day song on the book. So Charles, from early on, a lot of times where I wanted to dive into something crazy, I listened. I was a sponge when I was younger, and I listened to Charles like, no, that ain't the, you know, Charles do this thing with his hand. He's like, no, that ain't that ain't the move. That ain't the play, bro. So he real soft spoken too. Yeah, you know this. That ain't the play. So don't do that. So shout out to Charles, man. But yeah, you can find me everywhere. Blaze Hunter, ninthwonder.com. Wonder spelled with the U. Or you can just Google. I love that I can say this. You can just go to Google Blaze Hunter. And there's no other one. It's just me. It's just me. So Blaze Hunter, you'll find everything. The radio station, Blaze It Up Radio, the most prestigious network in the land, the Signature Series Network. I own my own magazine, Ninth Wonder Magazine. Matter of fact, I can show off the magazine for you real quick. You know, so I have my own printed magazines, publications. Man.
Are you looking for contributing writers?
Always.
That's me. We'll be talking.
Hey, we're gonna be talking. There we go. We're gonna be talking. Most definitely. Shout out to mybookjams.com. And yeah, man, we just appreciate everyone for watching, tuning in, and y'all stay blessed.
Yeah, man. I want to shout you out, King Jacob. Thank you for having us on, man. Blaze for inviting me on. My lovely goddess, my wife, Lot Queen V Valley, she was in here. Also our supporters, you know what I'm saying? Like his mom is Keisha. Everybody that supports us wholeheartedly. Our new single, Just Fine, is out right now. It was just released. It's Blaze Hunter featuring Mr. Cooper, Just Fine. I'm telling you, it's the song that you want to have on your playlist. It's the song that you want to have all over, really. You want everybody listening to it. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all stream it. You can follow me, The Real Mr. Cooper. I am The Real Mr. Cooper, IG, Mr. Cooper TV on Twitch and YouTube.
All right, you heard it first. The Chatterbox with King Jacob, featuring Blaze Hunter and Mr. Cooper, man. We've had a superstar show tonight, you know, and y'all just stay tuned and keep it locked. And before you go, Blaze, shout out your radio station so we can get people to listen.
Yes, y'all make sure y'all tune in to Blaze It Up Radio. It is the new home for independent artists. You get to go in there and hear the best independent artists. And I make sure that it's not the Wild West. We keep it clean. It's a royalty paying station. So any artists out there that want your music heard and you want to actually get the same type of love that you would get if you're played on an FM station, get at me, man. Come talk to me, man. Blaze It Up Radio. You can check out the station. You can go to Google and you can download the Blaze It Up Radio app, or you can go to blazehunterknifewonder.com/Blaze It Up Radio, and you can check out the station, listen to it, select the package, and let's take the thing to the next level.
All right, you heard it first. Chatterbox King Jacob, Blaze Hunter, Mr. Cooper. We out of here. Peace and blessings, everybody.